The mastermind behind one of the most audacious robberies in history had a plan so insane that it would make even the most seasoned criminal raise an eyebrow. But what was this plan, and how did it all go wrong? This is the full story of the worst robbery plan ever. In 2004, Colombian authorities uncovered a plot to rob the Central Bank of Colombia. The plan was so brazen that it involved not just a small team of thieves, but a whole army of lookouts and getaway drivers strategically placed around the city. But this was just the beginning. At the heart of this elaborate scheme was a man named Juan Majano. Born into poverty, Majano had dreams of getting rich quick. He tried his hand at various illegal activities, but nothing seemed to work out for him until he met a man who would change everything. This man, whose identity remains a secret, was a retired military officer with a wealth of knowledge about the inner workings of the Colombian armed forces. With his help, Medellin assembled a crew and hatched a plan to rob the National Department of Taxes and Customs. They managed to pull off the heist and made off with over $13 million. But they weren't done yet. Not even close. With the adrenaline still pumping through their veins, they set their sights on an even bigger prize, the Central Bank of Colombia. This time, they were going for the gold, literally. Their target was the vault in the bank's headquarters, which was rumored to contain $400 million worth of gold bars. So, how do you get past some of the most sophisticated security measures known to man? Simple. You infiltrate the bank from within. Medellin's crew managed to bribe several low-level employees, giving them enough access to map out the bank's security system. They learned that the vault was protected by lasers, motion sensors, and cameras. But they also discovered a secret passageway that remained undetected for decades. It was an old air duct used by maintenance workers to access the roof. It was the perfect way in. The only problem was that the air duct was over 60 years old. It hadn't been used for decades, and it was incredibly rusty. But the allure of $400 million in gold was too much to resist. So on October 16, 2004, a group of 12 men entered the air duct. They crawled through the darkness, the metallic smell of rust filling their nostrils. As they moved deeper into the bank, their excitement grew. They could hear the murmur of voices and the clatter of keyboards. They were so close to their prize, but then disaster struck. The duct collapsed, trapping the men in a pile of rubble. Trapped and with no way out, the men panicked. Some tried to dig their way out, while others called for help. But, as the minutes ticked by, it became clear that they were not going to make it. The vault was just a few feet away, yet they were trapped in a tomb of their own making. Meanwhile, outside the bank, a police presence was building. Sirens wailed as officers descended on the scene. They had received anonymous tips about the robbery and were determined to stop it. But by the time they arrived, it was too late. The vault was empty. As the dust settled and the police presence grew, the men realized that their dreams of riches had turned into a nightmare. They were trapped and with no way out. They had no choice but to wait for the inevitable. The police eventually found them and brought them to justice. But not before they had caused millions of dollars in damage. This audacious robbery was a testament to the lengths that people will go to for money. The mastermind behind it all, Juan Majano, was sentenced to 11 years in prison. But he was already a free man by 2012, having served his time. As for the rest of the gang, they were given sentences ranging from 5 to 18 years. But this wasn't the end of the story. In the years since, many have questioned whether the mastermind, Juan Majano, actually went to prison at all. Some believe that he bribed his way out of prison and lived the rest of his life as a wealthy man. Others believe that he was never caught at all and is still out there somewhere. The truth is, nobody really knows what happened to him. His whereabouts are unknown and his fate is a mystery. But one thing is for sure, the audacity of the plan was something that had never been seen before. Crawling through a rusty air duct to rob a bank's vault was a bold move and one that will be talked about for years to come. Whether the mastermind was caught or not, one thing is for sure, this was the worst robbery plan ever.